Nah, thank you, Kasad, as well. We're going to jump into this best of three. And boy,
it's not FPL.
It's
Pro League.
Yeah, it's not a major or FPL. In fact, it's regular season Pro League, and it's Vitality versus Ence on Mirage.
The bloody hell is going on over there?
Oh, we're going to have the full sandwich today, Alex. We're going to have the lettuce, the mustard, get a bit of cheese
Pickles.
in there.
And all of that red onion. It does look like we're going to be seeing a standard T-pistol, one Diha, to arrive late as the mid-window is smoked. And they can maneuver through underpass or all the way committing to B. 1xBet odds are on the screen.
Interesting, I think. I think Ence in this game, looking at the map pool, I agree with Yanko in terms of both teams chickening out, but I think Ence can very much win this. And, well, that's a great start for dupreeh.
Yeah.
We'll start the broken record about Australis and Mirage soon, but we're into the B-bomb side.
We are ready to rock and or rolls. I was really running out of teammates and health as the bullets have already found his skull. Yeah, one on the jiggle, but his days are numbered. It's up to his teammates, and they will fill his void. Apex gone as well. Hades banishes 2 to the Shadow Realm.
And that should be it.
That's the end of the story.
It was a good pistol. It
was a fun story.
Started
for
well.
The first round.
Started well for dupreeh, didn't it?
Yeah.
Opening kill on Diha goes down. I have a lot of things I want to talk about now, Alex. I don't know where to begin.
Okay, let's start with the first thing.
All right, the first thing. That's a good place to start. Let's start with Hades, because on our screen. Thank you very much, Jakey. You've just teed us up with our first point. But Hades yesterday had some very big impact in the series. They were able to get across the line, the upset victory to FaZe. Now, it's not an upset like it was a 70-30 or anything like that. Like, you're thinking of that game like a 55-45, 60-40 type scenario right there. Because, as Yanko said, he thinks Ence is better than their results show, or their ranking shows. I agree with that sentiment. This team has a lot of very good pieces, and one of those pieces that was a key component was Hades, who started off this pistol round very strong. If he can have a coming out tournament, and I don't mean that in the sense that we don't know what he's capable of, but I don't think we've seen that come to its full fruition on land just yet. That's what I want to see next. Chime that in with Diha, Spinks, Madden finding himself a little bit more comfort. This could be a very tidy team to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Ence really are one to watch. I think that they've also been that team that can have the kind of, 60-40 and be the 40 in a lot of games. Like, a lot of opponents, they've been true, and they've pushed them. I've always admired that. Definitely Hades didn't look like he had the most fun on Nuke, but he definitely woke up later in the series.
Here's a fun but almost insignificant stat. Vitality with the 2 maps they played yesterday. Look, the pistol rounds, they were a bit split, but the force by rounds, the second round breaks, they were able to convert all of them. So let's see if they can convert this one right here, because they've lost the pistol. They've been great with their utility usage in these type of scenarios. We saw that against Sprout yesterday. Currently, 4 players over towards B. Just going for an info play right now on the A ramp.
This is a little cheeky, isn't it? Second round, you fully invest, other than, of course, Zayu biding for an orb. Deep smoke to...
Very deep smoke.
Perhaps cage you. It's going to make you a bit uncomfortable rounding that ramp corner, but you might have a look into... Oh, Spinks has handled business. Now the question remains. Will they at least go round the corner? Will you check it? Will you show your face, clear it before they walk into the trap? Oh, Chadney. Snappy's a wise owl.
Hades can still fall back. Look, he's at the back of the pack here. They've got 2 at least.
It's sus.
Hades can rotate. If he rotates now, if he stays committed, there might be a problem, but he's lingering. Zayu needs to find him, and well, Hades is away. So there it is. We can all breathe a sigh of relief.
Yo, it really did feel like they jumped straight into the jaws there, but well handled in the end. Hades just about gets himself away. Zayu has found himself a nice weapon to drop on through, and even the scout on dupreeh to hold on to as well.
I was going to say they pulled the plug, but every time I think of pulling the plug, it goes down the gurgler, and this didn't go down the gurgler.
I think, yeah, pulling the plug, I guess I'm thinking...
power related?
I was thinking power plugs.
Yeah, so they pulled the power on the B stack of Vitality.
Yeah, they pull the plug. I guess it's because we sometimes talk about like pulling the ripcord.
Yeah.
Like, that makes more sense, but we just don't want to keep saying pull the ripcord.
Yeah, I wanted to have a bit more...
Because you want to slow it down.
I also wanted to say gurgler.
The gurgler. That is just such a beautifully Australian... Like, if there was a... You know how we have Italian plumbers? Sure. If there was an Australian plumber, cartoon character, I think he'd go, it's gone down the gurgler.
Okay, I see. Yeah, fair enough.
It's a me.
Yeah.
Chadney.
Yeah, I'm with you. But it'd be like, g'day.
G'day, yeah.
Yeah, well...
And I don't know what would you be... what would come out of the boxes? Mushrooms come out for him. Maybe like
a stubby.
A stubby, yeah.
Yeah.
And the one that makes you turn on, like the fiery flower.
Oh yes.
Is actually like a shoey.
Ah, okay. All right. I like that.
Our off-brand Australian.
What makes us immune? Well, you know the start? Yeah.
How about a cuddle with a koala?
Oh, okay, that's cute. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, well, Galil saves, scout across, Deagle's in the hands. Let's see. Can the Vita Pops make this one a little bit more interesting than the last?
The Apex is very well known for this call. It's sometimes go B with 4, and other times go B with 4. He does this occasionally.
Classic.
Surely he won't do it. You know, the gambler's fallacy, he's not going to be there again.
Exactly. Well, it appears they're going A.
Yeah, that's actually worked out really wonderfully.
Well, Snappy's done a great job. Yesterday he was fantastic. I really enjoyed, first of all, the way he was playing and the way that he was calling. And, well, he's done it again.
Wasn't he top of the scoreboard on Overpass? Like, he pulled them over the line.
Had some big saucy boy rounds too. So that's S-A-U, not S-O-U, just for those people who might be confusing it with CSS.
Well, probably not many people confusing it with that now anymore. Well, here comes 5 members of Ence, and to receive them, the entire Vitality squad rotating through. They're going to look at try and make this costly, force those rebuys, drop those AKs, and it's going to be Snappy's nade that could be destined for glory. Massacres 1. Bomb planted, and Masuta is about to divide and conquer. Look how much time he got on that Deagle. They're actually within the one-shot radius of the Scout, and another one. Dupree finishes what that Deagle started. This really can go wrong. Look at Hades' HP. He's playing the long game. Can't go down now. Can't afford to go down. He's so susceptible to the shot. Thank God we got D here on site.
He has done enough there. Well, I guess Hades did enough by staying alive, right? Those bullets, not lethal, but presence alone stalled out Dupree and his movements. And now we can start to marinate in the juices that is Vitality having 2 Astralis boys in their roster. And Mirage was a map that they didn't play since, I'm going to go off the top of my noggin here, June of 2019. The last time Astralis played Mirage, before the current iteration, it was against Furia. Pretty bang on with that one because I've had to reference it a couple of times, but that's been one of the issues. This is a map Vitality have played 3 times. They're yet to win it. They need to change that tune right here today.
And I mean, you've got to love that it's, of course, going to be a Snappy roster that tries to get the punish. Obviously capable in their own Mirage. I've seen a lot of great Ence Mirage. We've casted it even last year a lot, but this time with Maiden. Oh,
Beck's trying to do the block there, but that could have been lethal. You could see Madden's position, right? He was pushed all the way up connected. Now Spinks with a bit of pressure.
Yeah, Madden pushing straight through. This is the sandwich clear that's not going to be easy. Spinks has got the responsibility. Oh, their crossfire's really hard to break. He hears him loud. Stampeding in, and Masuta just with 2. Feels weird to see an M4A4 in action.
What game are we playing?
Madden has actually just fully James Bonded it. Straight through. It doesn't matter. It's bad info because now Apex looked like he was almost ready for that. So element of surprise now revealed, and it's short-lived. Masuta contributes heavily. 4 frags on the M4A4, appropriately.
Yeah.
It's one of the few. We've got Bit and Masuta that play the M4.
He's the youngest lad in the team. I guess he's trying to be retro. You know, he's trying to be the cool kid.
Actually, no, my bike doesn't have any gears, actually.
I like the 5 extra bullets.
Yeah, it's single speed, actually. I don't know why he's a pompous Brit, but that's the best I can do.
Oh, look, I don't know how you do a pompous French person.
Oh, it's very easy for me. I sound like Shocks when I do it.
You get a little bit of French in you.
A little bit, sometimes, when I'm lucky.
Now, we're going to be taking a little bit of a look here at, well, Ence's purchase. There's got 2 rifles, make it 3 if you count the Galil. I don't know if everybody at home does. 2 Deagles and a few smokes. Now, interesting to note with the way that Vitality approached these first foray of rounds, right? It's been stacks. The 2 force by rounds were stacks towards B, and that last one was a stack towards A. So they're bolstering their numbers across the map here, and this is looking a bit more default heavy. One boosted up towards the vent room, Apex to float around window. Got Magis playing over towards the connected position, and Zywoo now AWP over towards Ticket.
Okay, so we've had a CT boost window, and this is the T response. Now, if there's enough pressure for Apex to take a wider look, he's very well trained as Apex.
Got to be careful of all these little maneuvers and boosts and weaslings on timings here, so not to overpeak, not to give away that number advantage early.
Magisk, walking through on the fade, and okay, could be a double on Dupree. Gets away with it, the wide peak. Madden at least hits the Deagle headshot, but still, they are low, susceptible to a push, and here comes that push. Hades gets the info on Dupree. 32 HP. That Deagle could and is enough. Bomb to be planted. A miss from Zywoo. He won't get many more opportunities, and they do just knock him off the shot. He was about to try and connect through the box, and now with bodies dropped, Masuta again to clutch. We got a 4K in the last. Now looking for his third headshot, and he hits these. Hades wards him off. The hunt is on.
They could be good.
Could be good. Fakes him off, confirms the fake with the sound. Hades has to call this bluff. Has to check it. Hades pulls him off again. He's toying with him. Toying with his prey, and he finishes it with style as well.
Beautiful stuff from Hades, right? Absolutely awesome stuff, and it backs up what we were talking about earlier, right, in terms of his impact. We felt it yesterday. We're feeling it right here, right now, because that was a bit of a hodgepodge buy, right? There's a couple of deagles, 3 rifles, and they're able to get it across the line. I like the proactive play that we saw from Vitality towards middle there. They tried to clamp down as a unit. The flash from Magis coming through connector, Dupree swinging out window, but it wasn't enough. And you're right about the ZywOo situation. That was pivotal. That was probably the most key moment of all of that, is because the fact that ZywOo, if he swings out, he could have denied the bomb. We could see, even with X-ray on, that you could still see the leg poking out the side of the box, but a very early timeout called here. Going into round number 6, Zonic wants to get on the mic. Now, the cash, it's, well, not enough to splash. Apex could buy, ZywOo the same, and the other 3 would not have enough. This also allows Saw, the coach that you can see in the picture, to have a chime in on the other side, but I think this is a really good way for Ence to start the day. T-side Mirage. Look, it's not the hardest of sides. It's like starting T-side Dust 2. You're kind of happy with it in a lot of these occasions.
And I was actually really happy when I got to speak to Ence more intimately in Stockholm, because they actually really kind of reinforced that Saw deserved a whole lot more credit than we're giving him. I think a lot of the stuff bleeds into Snappy getting credit, when actually Saw is a coach that they really value and has come with the team and grown and developed with them. Let's see what ZywOo's up to, because he's
bought,
fully invested, and he's brought one of the 2 M4s into this. Spinks, you're good, but are you hard clear, deep right? Palace, good. Yeah, he does eventually find him. ZywOo wins that battle.
We know where ZywOo is now, so do you want to react off the back of that? Looks like Snappy's going to take this one quite slow. Mac 10 in his hands. Madden's been able to scoop up the bomb and is heading over towards T-Spawn to join up with Hades, who's at a ramp. And this is a lot of space now for Snappy to work with here. Look at the radar, top left of your screen. You can see nobody close. And they can just attack A from multiple different angles, but Snappy has just highlighted for everybody playing at home that they haven't broken the vent. So that sound cue, right, that tells a lot about the setup just with the info that Snappy's been able to find.
Combined with knowing ZywOo has Palace, you know, what does that mean? It means Hades has to be watching that from T-Spawn. It means that Snappy has got their rotate pretty much on lock.
If he breaks this and goes, right, they know it's likely to be 2 inside B setup because of this, right? So they could explode onto B. That sound cue's going to do a lot to get the feet moving.
Oh, and Magisk is going to try and catch him with the scout, hits the bullet, but now they commit to B. They're both playing close-ups. It's hard clear. They jump out the window. Oh no, they could trip over. No one's cleared it, and it's an easy mop-up for Masuta, the multi-kill master. He gets 3 again. What's his score total? 10 already. 150 ADR, and this is going to be a Vitality round, but Masuta has made his name a very common presence in that kill feed.
Well, we say you're putting the eggs in one's basket quite often, but that really was with that type of force spike, because I know the loss bonus is starting to build, but you could see just how many compromises were made, and they pull off a setup like that. It works, and thank you to Masuta right there. Good information garnered from Snappy as we highlighted, but not enough to convert. I guess they weren't expecting the 2-pronged attack up towards the balcony. But I guess this is more of a map where like the Masutas and the Kyojins, right, if we're going to do a bit of a throwback, that's where they were more comfortable. Mirage, everybody knows it, everybody plays it in face it, everybody's always pugging on it. A bit more of an aim map in certain regards. Timeout taken, and this will be the first from Ence. And also the man you were mentioning, you can see his lips moving, a bit of talking going on. They're buying in here. Galil, Deagles, Tech9, very light on the nades though. 2 smokes, 3 flashes.
I mean, you've seen teams win with less. I just don't know what Madden's going to be able to get done.
Traditionally, when you have this type of utility, you could go A and you could do the up-down smokes like the one on the stairs and then the one to cover off between jungle and connector that denies the vision. You could also try some misdirection. You could do those smokes and then have people come out under connector and try and use the rotations to your favor, or maybe just wait and see what comes your way, because ZywOo is coming up top mid right now.
This is another one of those aggressive maneuvers to get ZywOo activated. Get him feeling the game. High flash, deep clear, and didn't spot him just yet, but the toes reveal and betray the only rifle in play. Apex gets them both, and that's the end of any potency Ence may have been wielding.
4-3.
There's a lovely little angle demonstration for you. Magis can catch the Tetris cross. Just in the off angle on default, and yeah, Apex is on the prowl today. Gets 3 of his 4 total in that round, locks him down, and now you can see a full eco is ahead of them. So call this 4-4. They'd love a plant. I think they should go for the Machini TV, right?
Can you summarize the
Sure.
Machini
So what
TV
happens
for
is
everybody?
Vitality panic, right, when the 4 Glocks show up in apps.
Yep.
And Apex is like, oh god, everyone drops what they're doing and rotates B.
Okay.
'Cause it's matchmaking.
Sure.
And then I jump out of Palace that I've been hiding with the bomb and plant.
Wow, give everybody the bonus.
Everyone gets
Do you
the
go
bonus.
on to win the round?
Sometimes, if I've got a P250,
Okay.
I'm probably winning.
No P250.
Yeah, so it's probably just a plant if they pulled off the Machini
All right.
TV.
All right.
Now,
It'll now forever
just
be known.
Zywoo sprinting immediately upon this single Glock arriving.
Well, once you hear the eeks, the Eco Cobras come out, the Hoover, everybody wanted to do a bit of stat padding, of course.
Apex is actually doing exactly that. There's the threatening Glock, and there's a nade right onto their nostrils, actually just a bit too deep.
If he keeps picking, I think he will go down here. Or back up. I can cancel that. Thank you very much, Dupree.
Oh, no fun to be had. The fun police have arrived and cancelled play.
Dude, if Masuda dropped me that M4, I'd be so filthy. And no, you can keep it, mate. I'll have a FAMAS instead.
I'd
No,
actually
it's not
take
that bad. It's not that bad. I take it back. I take it back. But you do considerably have to play a little bit differently, right? Like in terms of the traces, all that good stuff. It's so much smoke spam.
Yeah, how many
These
smoke
days.
kills have we been seeing since it's become the Vogue M4?
I'm sure Peta has some spreadsheet where he's got it all listed. Here we go, mid aggression again. They're going to push up the guts here.
Yeah, Masuda wants his 12th, maybe even his 13th, and he's not stopping. He's forced out of him, and this time aggression is met with resistance. Apex could lose the round. Instead, he just throws it down. The smoke, poor old Diha, gone but not forgotten.
Well,
A 4v3, they're going to reset, retool, and does look like they want to walk on back.
If they gamble right now, because you can see that Apex is telling them to leave the B site, but it's going to be coming down to timing here. Magic's is in window. If Apex and Zywoo get over towards Ticket, that's all right. There's no molly or lethal grenades to deal with them. It's just smokes and flashes. So if it's a gamble stack, Vitality can still win this. Oh, unless Snappy walks into B and calls it clear, and then they all rotate back towards the B bomb site.
Yeah, it would be a one-way to drag out the round. Now, you know Snappy does like to have someone get the info prior. And I think already this is the... Guys, I've got bad news for you. I've got really bad news for you, fellas. I know you just got there. I know you're at the station. I know you got your ticket printed. But could you get on a different train? Please.
Yeah, it's going to take you a little bit longer to get here.
You have to go to the different platform. Yeah, 18. It's on the other side.
But it's safer.
Much safer.
Less crime.
Significantly less crime. And there's this Danish kid that's been really bullying people, actually. He's got a French friend. I'd really rather you guys avoided those two. Oh, Snappy. Gets one of the two. And now the site's safe, and it is significantly safe. A safe passage secured to a 5th round. Apex running around with 6 HP, and it's unlikely that they find him, but Ence have found themselves another win.
You just scooped up a kit.
Ooh.
I would like if when they pick up nades, we could have a bit of a slurping noise. That could be a good sound effect, because that's what he's doing. He's just hoovering up a couple of extra goodies with the incendiary and the diffuse kit. That's $1,000 he does right there, guys. He just saved himself $1,000.
There might even be a HE in apps that gets blown towards him. He's got a full kit, a full set.
Oh, he was spotted there.
What's his intention here? Okay, well, that was a fun incendiary. He gets to try and cage one, and it loses Spinks. All the same. Down
goodbye,
goes the
Apex.
M4.
Well, that's miserable for Apex. He's not going to be happy with that.
Well, I think he'll get over it. I think he's already got a plan for how they're going to answer to Ence's 5 rounds, and that is... Now, I've been practicing this one. You've been teaching me.
Yep.
Dorps.
Dorps, yep. Friends with the Tropes, but more common.
We've definitely seen a couple of Tropes, but the Dorp certainly more prominent.
Dupree going to do a little bit of that. So we'll see how he wields the big green. Zywoo on the primary. Zywoo is going to be tasked with holding A. They've put Dupree over towards the catwalk position here. This seems to be one of their go-to little holds right here. Apex has to deal with the window float. Now just scooping up some info here over towards the stairs, and well, Zywoo to defend it all. Let's go through the underpass, pressure on A. Zywoo's dead already.
Hey, yeah, he just walked out, took the fight. Hades onto Zywoo successfully, but Magiska's at least clawed it back to an advantage.
Oh, just slipping there, Apex. It looked like he was in the right direction until he wasn't. Snappy with another impactful kill.
This is all on Magisk. He's good in pit. This time he's been isolated, and woof, Diha's hitting some steamers. Takes down Dupree instantaneously. That will look to extend the lead. Ence, this will be the second in a row, but 6th in total. Suter already farmed up to 12. Now he's going to try and maintain one of these 2 orbs. But I suppose if I was describing a worst case scenario to a double orb setup, it would be someone walking up ramp and getting the instant headshot.
Yeah, the thing is they both just took fights, out A-Ramp and Palace, on the utility that was thrown, right? You saw a smoke come in from Magus and they pushed ahead of it. They eventually got punished, but it's while they were dealing with what was going on towards A, that's where Snappy and Co were able to sneak into the backlines and really punish them. Not only do they get the important kills to do with the next responders from Vitality, it also cuts off the rotations, right? You can see how difficult it was for Masuda to even consider getting involved in that. But AWP saved. Apex has 7.7, Magisk has 4.3, and well, one of the gun rounds they did win was with a lowerish buy. So I'm sure that they'll go for a purchase here. You can see them starting to drop us some guns now. This is it. Hades just walking out ramp. One way to take ZywOo out of the round. This was the response from Magus, so to pivot up the top of the stairs. The joys of the connector player, get to be extremely mobile. 2 wasn't enough, as this was the kill here that seemed to really unravel the rounds. Dihaz actually, yeah, let's say Dihaz was the kills that completely unraveled the rounds right there. Back underway. Both teams with a big green out in play. Hades is equipped at this time.
Yeah, they really do, like, they're emphasizing a priority on Palace. Magisk. Oh, nicely found. And now if ZywOo's ready and waiting, Magisk is just going to do it all for them. Extinguish as well, looking very set for success. That's going to slow them down, surely. Just the tip of the head spotted. Madden is the threat. For a moment, ZywOo puts him into bed, tucks him in tight. The rest likely to fall into place. This is much more what they were looking for. Hades, good read on the swing of the stairs. Keeps his eye to the scope as he's got 3 more to trifle with. They will just try and peek in unison, won't they? Jiggle out. He gets him again. They're giving him isolated. Jules! That was it. That was nearly the 1v1. Very, very attainable at that point. Good God, Hades. Well played. I mean, closed in on 4, kept his eye to the scope to be as well and truly dominating as possible. He was threatening.
Well, this is where it gets very, very interesting, right? So it's a good round and it's punishing as far as the money goes. The buy can come out for Vitality here. They're able to get the M4s. They retain the AWP. It's all good. But on the other side, again, this is the back and forth we've had in this game. It's like neither team have felt like they've been out of cash completely, besides the earlier ecos from the French-Danish mix. But like Ence's purchase right now, it's a couple of pistols, a Mag-10 and some rifles again. It looks like a fast beat. It looks like a pop and go here after the molly. They're in.
Suter. Excuse me, I'm shouting on the other side of the room. But Dupree is going to have to make up for the absence of Masutra. He still took 1 and done. He was alone as they committed, and now they can chip away. There's plenty of nades here for the game that we like to see. The retake 3 perhaps taking shape from Kitchen. T-Smoke will force you forward. It's not as deep as it should have been, and Apex has already taken 1 down on Car. Oh, this gets really dicey now. Another body drops. ZywOo's caught with the AWP. Snappy to save the day here, and he's got his help ironed out. Madden finding a good Eagle headshot. ZywOo really running out of time for this one. And they're going to lose everything they put into this. Ence. Crack the B site, crack Masuta's site, who is at the top of the scoreboard, and they'll leave with nothing. Huge flip of the switch from Madden, 2 on the Deeg, Snappy with 2 of his own.
Well, they were just trying these like limp out walk plays that you highlighted onto the A site, and then they completely changed it up, and it's been a little bit gambly, well, in the earlier stages from Vitality, and Masuda, 1 done, not enough, the site given up, and with all the nades on the retake, yeah, sure, but you still have to break your way in. It's not easy. There's so many different positions that the T's can be, and when Madden is hitting deagle shots like this,
yeah,
it's even harder.
I mean, I do think Snappy is one of the maestros at keeping it unpredictable. He loves to keep the defense guessing. He knows how difficult it can be from a leader if the script keeps changing. This
is going to be so hard for Vitality. They've actually bought on in here. They've fully invested, right? Loss bonus for both teams because in the back and forth nature of this game, it's not built for either, right? It's not like 2,900 or 24, anything like that.
This is Vitality that we're talking about, and they do make the opening intimidating. Dia looking robotic on those 2, and problems are indeed solved. I guess, you know, that is the no harm, no foul type vibe. You've lost 3 rifles, but you took everyone down. They fully invested, and you've got an easy one to come.
I'll give you 2 options here, Alex. Do you want to force buy again? with 1.9, 2.2, right? So you're going to be looking at some deagles, some scouts again, maybe some P250s with armor and some light nades. Or do you want to take an eco, concede your 9th round, and go into the next round with only, what's the loss bonus? Just over 4K. Which one would you prefer?
I honestly don't like either of the options.
Both suck.
Yeah. I suppose it's probably, you know, if we're talking about two teams that have been constantly convinced by their own success that they can win those Deagle Force by rounds, it would be Astralis and Vitality. Individually, they've always had an affinity for that.
I think they've had enough of those type of rounds in this game, and Diho just continues to farm. You get him perched up in Palace, and he'll pop a couple of domes. Madden had a chance to get another. Dupree will put in a little bit of resistance, and Hades there to finish off the piece. But that is the 9th round, and I could very well see this being a 10th coming out here.
Yeah, I mean, they've got all the weapons they desire in reference to Ence. A couple of small sacrifices for the CTs. They will not have a single kit, Chad. Not a single one.
Yeah, that was the problem, right? Obviously, where the loss bonus was sitting, it wasn't going to be easy for them to get a buy going regardless. But at least everybody's got an M4. There's armor for everybody.
Yeah.
No AWP for ZywOo to try and find some impact, so they're going to have to get this one done with the rifles alone.
You've got a lot of space in middle off the back of that single smoke. Dupree doesn't leave, and Molly. Short and into ladder room, so that really does give Madden a full 7-second buffer just to walk on in, and it looks like Dupree's managed to catch him. Elevated on the bricks, he re-smokes himself. Nage does look destined for damage. 50 to the nose of Dupree.
Well, they've gone for a close-up A stance here, so they're foregoing a lot of mid-control again. Swatting Madden away is good. They've bought themselves a bit of a buffer, but Magic's up close A ramp, ZywOo to try and help him out, and then on B, Masuda and Apex tucked in tight.
Looks like, yeah, Snappy thinks he can slip short, and it would have been the right call if they didn't call for the flash. Dupree gets set up for success. Now they will commit. Hard clears coming into bench. A CT divider, smoke, and a well-managed spray. Diha is a threat today. Hades misses his chance, and it looks like Vitality, despite the absence of some of the equipment, have handled business and will leave with the 6th. Vitality 6, Ence 9. Swap inside. It's time to see what the French-Danish mix can do on the attack as we continue to see Ence's map pick play out here at ESL Pro League.
Two guys. Mid.
Connector.
Yes.
I kill connector. Wait.
Don't come. Don't come.
Nice.
Two guys.
Connector
One palace, one slope, I think.
Okay. I'm gonna peek palace.
Still in palace. Where's that?
Dead palace.
Last one slope.
He's
Carry. Have him. Just become my contact.
Is he still there, right?
I think so.
Maybe not.
I'm ready to pick.
Just shoot a pick, Kevin. Just
He's there.
He's there.
He's there.
Against FaZe Clan yesterday as one of the hot prospects for top 3 in this group. Vitality also in that conversation.
Yeah, exactly, right, exactly. And we had a couple of dark horse teams, right, in the sense of Ence and Furia, well, both of which picked up wins yesterday. So the group is already tossed into a bit of a tumble dryer. 1xBet odds getting closer and closer. Let's see if these 5 Kevlar CTs can swat away the purchase of Vitality. Light Util, 2 P250s, one for ZywOo, one for Masuta. Apex coming in through the underpass. Now he has a molly and a smoke. He could molly off towards window, he has, and smoke towards deep, connected to buy himself a bit of space, but it's all a ruse. They're going to come out Palace with a waterfall here. He's trying to make as much noise as he can. Oh.
That works too. I think Magic's long-range blocking has caught Madden. Masuta as well taps away at Hades.
Goosh now for Dhi. He gets one and done. Yeah, 2 on 3 retake.
This is doable. You have to clear out this close corner. Oh, wow, those clicks are good. Snappy drive-by onto Apex. If he could dance now with Magis. Magis already hitting some bangers. Now he's gone down. ZywOo, though, and his P250. How many times have we seen this? It's a good weapon for the job. Not when he's got no bullets. They both have to reload. He's dancing with
How's
them
he got no way?
He's going to have a lot of power. If he could just isolate, does now start the dance. Snappy and ZywOo.
Trying to find a pistol.
Oh, now they're reloading. What is going on here? The bomb is awkwardly planted for ZywOo. And Snappy just walks in and gives it to him. Oh, wow. 3 in the round. ZywOo saves the French squad.
Big smile on his face as always right there for ZywOo, but even nicer when he gets the clutch. And that was so awkward. Felt like everybody was running out of ammo. I think Snappy was trying to pick up a pistol off the ground.
3, 4. I think at least 4 or 5 reloads during that 2v3.
Normally it's like super crispy, but you can see here the bullets just going and getting siphoned out of the gun for Snappy. Down at this point, you can exactly that. 6 bullets after that kill. So then when he gets into this fight, when he gets into this duel, he doesn't have a lot of ammo, so he's looking for another pistol. That's why it got so awkward for both of them.
Yeah, well, and ZywOo getting away probably by virtue of that.
Bang!
And the dirt is indeed gone. Oh, that should be, could be, isn't, but Hades has found it with the scalp. Bomb loose ramp, that's a lot of info, but they won't over-rotate, it is still retrievable.
Oh, look at the HP though of Magic and Dupree already. I know we just like bounced into this round and action was already going on, but you're going to act a little bit more hesitant right now. And before, we saw when the low HP players had at least number advantages, you could lob them out like Snappy did to clear B.
Talking of clearing B.
Oh, the timing on this.
Oh,
he's going to check. Surely he's going to check.
He's going to check.
There you go.
There was a small universe where Dupree rounds the corner just before Masuta now, the only healthy member of Vitality. He's got Magisk in tow. There's another smoke on the floor, so Magisk will pick that up. He can drop that as well.
Might want to smoke the side to try and plant here. I know that constricts jungle. Oh, okay, connector as well. That's even better than smoking the site.
Oh, and catches the toes of Snappy, but he's just hitting them. 3 clicks. Back to back, Hades finishes what D has started, and Ence will convert the second round force. That puts Vitality back on their bottom.
Now, look, this is going to seem like for a lot of you at home coming out of left field, but I wouldn't mind just bringing it up and maybe having the conversation, because the desk is up next, and I would love to hear from Yanko and Kassad, 2 former coaches of good Counter-Strike teams, right? This is why I do this. if they think that this team of Vitality should try and, if they continue, how many losses do they need to have on Mirage before you consider bringing Ancient into the map pool? Because Ancient is still kind of new for everybody, right? I know it's not as new as it once was, but the map you're banning is Ancient, right? And look, why are you being stubborn about Mirage? Is there a reason for it? Does Apex like calling on it? Do you have good prac results? These things we don't know, obviously. But is there a certain point where you go, oh, maybe we can try a different map? Maybe Bad just likes it.
I would be very interested to hear the answer. Or maybe this is, if the command or the chain of command looks anything like Astralis, perhaps Zonic is the final say.
Yeah, that's going to be a curious one, isn't it? But this is still all right for Vitality here on the Force.
I mean, when you were making like a flowchart to success with a Deagle Force, it would be an opening Deagle 5v4 early.
Yeah, because now Ence might start to feel a bit desperate and go for info plays like this, right? Now, that was a safe one. They did it with Utah, they did it with the Flash, so they're playing by the book. But when I say info play that's desperate, limping out somewhere, walking alone and getting isolated. So this is actually seeming pretty cohesive by them at this point. They're staying steady, they're not giving anything away. They understand that Madden is in the grave, but that they still have the rifle advantage here.
Can't help but feel Spinks is playing with fire on that headshot peak. Single Deagle click. Oh, well, there's AK Welsh just as well. He does equalize. They are committing to A. Hades in a long, powerful position on CT. Cuts down the sandwich threat, and it is just ZywOo. Ence handle business, but this is ZywOo's realm, and he at least reminds us of that. Okay, 11, but that looks like an imminent 12th.
Why casters overhype ZywOo? Even Dha in the chat wrote, nice shot, before you start your little thread. We get excited about the Deagle kills. They feel good. They look good. They smell good. I don't know if they smell good.
Yeah, smell-o-vision.
Yeah, maybe they do. But this should be an economical right now from Vitality and should be able to get themselves up to 12. And a timeout called. This will be the second right now from Vitality. And look at Apex. He looks like having a good day. He's out at the water park. The sun's shining. He's feeling very free. Things are looking good for Apex here. He's having a great time. No, but quite seriously, this is stressful. And we mentioned the whole Australia situation. This is also a map that's harder for Zonic to be able to chip on in and offer, well, good coaching advice. It's not a map that the team that he was coaching when it was the best in the world, the greatest team to ever do it, even played. So it's hard to just scrub up on the meta with the top teams. Sora, on the other hand, he is chill. He's having a good time. He's got no qualms. I was... who was I having a chat with the other day? Spinks. I was chatting with Spinks. He's another one of these guys who sits on his leg, Alex. Have you seen there's a couple of them out there? Simple does it. Simple sits on his leg. Yakinda does it. He sits on his leg. But Spinks takes it to another level. I'll show you what Spinks does. Give me a second. Let me just do it. 1 second, everybody. So, Simple and Yakinda. Don't worry, guys.
How tucked is the leg?
Any bloody clocks. Don't worry about it, guys. So, Simple and Yakinda will sit like this.
See, I could frag like that.
They sit like this. But Spinks... It's like this.
Doesn't do double cross.
Oh, bloody knee. It's all right, guys. It's all right. He sits like this.
Like a full pigeon pose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says when he wants to try hard, he sits like this.
Oh man, he's probably got very loose quads. It's a good stretch he's doing throughout the entire game. 12-7 the scoreline. We do see the eco come through. They did lose 1 rifle, but that's no sweat on the brow. Madden's rather, will grab himself a rifle. And we are ready to see what Vitality's T-side really looks like. This is where we get to open up into the mind of Apex and Zonic and see exactly what these guys have been hatching in their lab. Speaking of lab, I did just Google smell-o-vision. Apparently it exists. There is technology that means you can smell what you're watching.
For at-home use? Or do I have to go to Disneyland?
Cinema. A home cinema. It can be installed.
Maybe one day.
Could be interesting.
When the millions come into our bank balance.
Be very selective about what movies you watch, though.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids could be a fun one.
Yeah? What does that smell like, honey?
Wow, they're in the grass. Fresh cut
grass.
I like this. Molly underpass. Now they could choose to fight top mid if they'd want. They haven't opted for that. It's not the 3-prong mid defense right now from Ence. It's just Spinks up towards the vent, Dha over towards jungle. Hades and Snappy currently residing over towards B. And, well, Madden playing retake on A. So they're allowing Vitality to play out the round here. And I like this. You can play default against Vitality because we truly, even off those 3 maps, they don't have a lot that works for them. So let them try. Let them give it a crack and just respond accordingly.
Ooh, nice swing out of Dupree. Does punish a tight line held by the orb.
Oh, that smoke is very misleading, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you would assume that you'd lay It's clear. Dupree does do his diligence, but he's gone down all the same. Quick re-smoke onto short, trying to keep the sound cues flowing. Spinks may be required on that B short after all, because here they come.
Hades is here with the AWP as well. They're going to have a hard time crossing the windows, and there it is.
Another great shot, 17 and counting for him. Spinks overcommits to a spray, and now his teammates down and out. Snappy from short, Spinks combines with him.
I was trying to go back towards A right now. Magic's got a kill on the way out Palace, and he's even found another. That's alleviated so much pressure. Zoe needs to get a move on all the way through T-spawn. Oh, and now that Magic's gone down, they can cut him off with the pass. Spinks can go forward. Snappy can get on over towards Ticket.
He really is going to be light on time. He hasn't got time to fight Spinks. If Spinks just hits a bullet, just slows him down. Anything. Well, that is lethal. That works nicely as well. 13 secured, and Magic's going down long range. It's not an easy shot to hit from Spinks, but it really ruins their plans.
Yeah, and Magis, to be honest, there was the only one who even gave them a round, right? He got that opening kill while we were focused on the B bomb site action, then even gets the second one on the rotator, right? He had done a lot right there, but he still felt like he needed to do more. I said misleading. Yeah, you were right. It was diligent from Dupree, but it was a nice little play, right? The bait in, Hades, oh, I'm smoked. You don't come short, please. You know, straight into Spinks' lair. And I think we're getting to see more and more of what each of these individuals of Ence truly have to offer. Right? There's been great moments for Diha, Hades, Spinks, Madden, Snap, like everybody.
It does feel like, yeah, Ence have basically just slowly built a roster of players we've all admired. Nice one from Madden. Dealt with. Apex response. Short success as Zaiwu and Magisk remain. And the bomb loose, committed to A. Smokes up for another 5 or so. You can see that enables him to cross through to the site.
You'd love a plant.
You'd love one, but CT's occupied.
Oh!
Hades has got a wall bang, so there you go. Another spotless one, essentially. 14 now to 7. And Vitality, you know what, Chad, if this does end as the trend is set at 16 to 7, this might be the nail in the coffin of the Mirage and the Ancient conversation. Maybe we do have them having a serious team talk over in the Düsseldorf Stadium.
This is the thing, right? So for them to bring Ancient in, it's not going to happen
overnight.
For, I would say, the next 6 to 7 weeks, because they'd have to play the RMR, right? So it's going to have, well, actually, maybe not. They only play this week and then they,
Well, you keep it in your back pocket, you develop it while you're all here in your lovely little boot camp facility, and Ancient is your major playbook, you know? It's
okay, I like it.
You keep it in your pocket, suddenly Ancient's add extra threat in the veto.
Because then you have the same problem. You have Apex, Zaiwu, and Masuda have never played Ancient, but you have the other two that have.
I hate that we've got there, because that's a conspiracy theory I can get behind. They don't want to show anything special on Ancient until 3v3 quickly becomes a 2-on-2. Look how many frags as two teams collide on this A site. Zoe's been a rascal. They won't expect this. They will adjust, though. They will adjust, and Hades catches them. It's falling apart, and Vitality yet to find a round outside of the pistol.
Yet to find a plant in the last 6 rounds of play. So that also is very telling, right? Because everybody knows, if you've been paying any attention to the loss bonus scenario, 3,400 with a plant will get you a buy.
Like that, it doesn't make logical sense, especially knowing the players, you know, Dupree, Zonic, Magisk. It doesn't make sense that they'd have Ancient available to them and not like have their brain constantly flowing with, oh, we could do this, and that's possible.
With how sweaty you can be on that
how nerdy
map.
they can be on that map. That would be right up their street.
Look, it's an interesting conversation, but now Vitality are 1 round away from being 0-4 on this map.
0-4. Is that all of the officials they've managed to clock?
Yeah. And they look, I was going through the stats with you just a little bit earlier. Inferno is their like go-to. Out of the 17 maps they played Inferno 8 times. And in this series, they don't get Inferno. Snappy says, we don't play that map. So this is where you got to see what their next map would be. And this is why Yanko was talking about maybe they chickened out in the veto a bit. Because Vertigo, you think that could probably be a pretty good Vitality map. There we go. There's 2. Stereo kills across the map. Magisk and Dupree, the Danes. And they're in. For how long? Madden peering on down and almost one and done.
Yeah, he had that sweet spot of timing where neither of the players were looking at him.
Just really wants to get up close for this. Is he going to get flashed in?
This is so counterintuitive, and it works wonderfully because Madden's not going to see that coming.
You very rarely see a T chase a CT into a Palace.
Yeah.
Like, very, very rarely. Well, they've got a round, and I think right now for Spinks and Snappy, they should be trying to save this. Or get as many kills as you can, right? For them, money, not great, really. There's enough for Diha, there's enough for Hades. That's why it's a bit more imperative for Spinks and Snappy to hold on to the guns as opposed to take them away from Vitality. But this will be their first gun round here in the second half of play for Vitality, and the first time they've planted I would say, other than the pistol. Jakey, can you go to a player that's able to find ambient noise on Mirage? Any ambient noise you can find, and we'll listen to it. What a beautiful sounding game. Just listen to it.
Yeah, that explosion in the distance didn't sound too bad.
Just keep it in your ears. You know Counter-Strike. You love it. You wake up every day. You watch it. You play it. You think about it. Have a good time.
So comeback?
No.
100%?
I would never go full Jason Moses O'Toole.
But you're feeling like 95?
It would be very, very difficult to see Vitality win this map considering the circumstances. Ence haven't even really had to do anything yet. You know what I mean?
And you're saying that not hyperbole, that is exclusively...
Been very standard.
Yeah, it has, you're right. They just have won by virtue of existing and going through the motions.
Well, this is quite heavy over towards A. Madden up close continues to take this fight ramp. Deha and Hades trending now back towards Connector, and Spinks has siphoned himself towards B. So they just chopped and changed the setup very early. Ence looked they were hedging in case it was aggressive. Now they're starting to go back into more of a standard setup. And, well, it is a standard default from Vitality. One through the underpass. Masuda dealing with the B push. Zywoo, Dupree top mid, and Magisk is the A lurk. There's a nice high smoke. You can learn that one at home for Connector. Maybe Rush can make a little compilation if he's doing content. Doing observing. All the different ways that you can smoke Connector. Short, you can drop one from window.
That's nice. That's a good idea. Like how to smoke Connector from anywhere. Apex is giving us another tutorial.
Very quiet here. 37 seconds, peering into a B split now, and look how far back Snappy and Spinks are on the site. Hades is even starting to cheat over as well.
Yeah. Spinks only has the flashbang, so it will be bullets. A tight line for short. This is a good angle if Snappy doesn't go down early, and he hasn't. He takes down Masuta. The AWP patrolling.
Oh, back to A. This is the last round.
Another shutdown. You don't have the time for this. 18 seconds, they're still in no man's land. Dupree has to take some initiative. It's set up for Hades to hold, and this is ugly. Heinous call just around the corner. I don't know if he's got time, doesn't matter. Deha will shut him down, and yeah, that is abysmal. Ence take it convincingly. It's their pick. They show us why, and they're halfway there to taking another big scalp. FaZe was first. This Vitality next. else were doing wrong. A bit of a gap in the map pool. Punished. Ence 1-0 up.
Let's see if this success for Ence can continue here on Dust 2. Yesterday, they looked pretty tidy on it. Today, they will be kicking off on the CT side. Take a little bit of a look as it's P250s again here for Vitality, two of which Masuda and Zaiwu one more time. That's exactly the same as what we saw in... Oh, Sphinx has actually gone for a very interesting maneuver. He should be dead, and he will. 1xbet odds are now favoring Ence, the international squad. I know that they're both technically...
International squads.
Yeah, but one I have a certain rule set for. In Vitality, you don't fit the bill. 4 on 5 very early here. This is a round that is likely to be Vitality's conversion.
Oh, Apex is in a necessary position. And they're just going to let Zaiwu go for fights on his own. Yeah,
4 on 4 now.
Trade. Madden's gotten away with that.
Yeah, this is okay. This is not how this was meant to go. They were meant to find a free kill in middle, right? Because you have the number advantage, you regroup, you execute together into a site. You have enough utility on Apex here.
At least the P250's been scooped on up, and he's still got his util. 2 smokes. They can go either way with this. Madden's just completely timed them, though. No one's holding the flank. Vitality looking discombobulated, lost. Unfocused. Madden sticking around will go down. This is a very weird pistol. Very weird. It can go anyway. Hades takes a fight. Hades hits 2. Just Dupree now, and they're all there. He can click every head if he wants to. If he's allowed to. Takes the fight, is isolated, and Ence will recover from an early 4v5 disadvantage.
Yeah, I can't believe Hades gets 4 kills and all of that right there, but it's just a shooting gallery in middle. Interesting pistol round. And if we actually look at Overpass yesterday, Alex, you know one of the common themes is why they got across line at phase was these pushes. Remember, they were pushing A and they were pushing B, like, religiously. Yeah. Like, it was just like, yeah, we don't fall back, we only go forward. Kind of feels like a snappy mantra, actually. Yeah, sure. But they did it so much on the CT side on Overpass, it punished FaZe a lot. I'm curious to see if they try and do that on Dust 2. It's not as easy on Dust 2 to do that.
New Dust 2, in air quotes, new Dust 2, does mean there is more aggressive options available to you. And here comes Madden with some farming frags. Does he get 2? He does. A third would have been lovely, but no bullets to allow it. An empty MP9 now picked up and reloaded. Masuda equipped with that.
He's careful.
Yeah, he's
very careful.
Oh, he does have his helmet, won't save him from the deagle. That's the luxury of getting 4 kills on the pistol.
You try and chase Snappy. Dihar says no.
There's another one.
And Hades will get the final kill. So 5 for him in total here. A hot start for Hades, continuing to say his name. But should be the buy coming out for Vitality now. They saved enough pennies to be able to get the AK-47s. Zaiwu can go glass cannon. So he's going to go into the AWP very, very early here. Lacking a little bit of utility. Vitality, they only have 2 flashes, so that's going to be very important as far as their approach goes. They're going to have to be a little bit more static about things. Magic over towards Long. He's going to take a flash off the back of one of the flashes. And they've done the one-way as well, but Hades, the aggression. That is the glass cannon orb of Zaiwu on the deck already.
That's a nasty death.
You all right?
No.
You want a minute?
Yeah.
You can have a minute. I got it. It's all good.
I just
went down the wrong hole, didn't it?
To breathe water.
Yeah, it went down the wrong hole.
I really shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, you're not a fish. You aren't a fish. But while Alex is trying to, you know, sort himself out, we'll give him a moment. We can talk about this 4 on 5 situation because that is miraculous from... Hello?
Hello?
Hi, Chad Birchall speaking.
Hello. No, oh, well, okay. It's good. I just sound perpetually concerned.
But it's going to take a while because
I really didn't think that was going to go down like that. Sorry.
is actually into the scope rifle this time. Magisk with the AK in his hands. And they've invested a decent amount here. Max loss bonus into the neck, so it can be a buy regardless. But let's see how far they can push this. Nice nade, well timed.
Think better of that. Forces util out, that is a very good sign. Now, there is plenty more where that came from. Retooling now, and Hades responsible for the double doors. Why do I still sound like I'm gonna
It's going to take a while.
Sorry about that, folks. I've just...
It's like you swallowed a fly.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was cycling and it just accelerated into my windpipe.
Yeah, and I've swallowed more flies than I care to admit. You feel a bit odd for a while.
Yeah, you ever had one fly into your eye?
No?
I was convinced it had gone to the back of my skull at one point.
Oh.
Yeah, it didn't. I don't think it did. I think just paranoia made me feel like it did. Madden's flash, Madden's visions restored, and his smoke exchange. That's actually a really well-timed util dump.
Oh, this is perfect.
He's
They're just going to mow them down.
He's
Yeah.
completely isolated them. They're coming one by one through the flames, and this is easy peasy. Not going to be an all 5 up. Magisk makes sure of that, but I'm afraid his fate is sealed. With 7 HP, he's got to get the hell out of dodge with his knife out. It's 4-0. Now, I think that this is the time now where I'm going to go ahead and research Vitality's Dust 2 statistics, because the Mirage ones weren't great.
No, well, this is the thing, right? With this roster, as I mentioned, it was only 17 maps, so now it would have been 18 once we add that Mirage onto
And
it.
5 of them have been on Dust 2.
Yeah, so let's have a little bit of a look. You got to these filters. They're easy to use once you know what you're doing. That's the thing with HLTV. 3 Dust 2s with this roster. So they've been able to win it every single time. Those wins are over Sprout, which was yesterday, G2, and MIBR. And Yanko made a good point, because you remember I asked them about the discussion with Ancient. Yanko brought up with the losses that they've had on Mirage have been to very good Mirage teams, or very good teams in general. So that's a good point to keep in mind. But yeah, the sentiment of we wait and see how Pro League goes, and if Mirage continues to be a weakness, then that could be the moment that things get chopped and changed. But this is a very standard default here. A lot more teams are operating with 3 players through tunnels now, just because how susceptible it is towards the lower dark push. So you make sure you clear this out with numbers. Back in the day, you know, you do 2, maybe you even get away with 1 guy just lurking over towards dark and a bit more presence towards top, mid, and long. But with the new changes, you're starting to see how the dynamic is shifting and giving a lot of respect here. Nobody facing middle right now. Deha and Spinks both tucked into the B bomb site. Hades taking the drop down peek. Is Molly going to flush him back? Snappy, got to be careful, my friend. And goes down to Masuda. So isolated a fight. Great job.
Yeah, just on their own volition and own utility there.
What's the response? Because it feels like Ence has always had a response.
Or it's been given to them in terms of a nice, untradeable 1v1. So they are poking and prodding through doors, and it is the right gap. As of yet, they can just pop and go. 2 smokes. Madden's going to have nothing to contribute. Yeah. It's just Deha and Spinks run over by an entire squad committing to their site. Oh my god! They gather in the doors. Nearly 3 as Masuda saves Vitality. And it was a flash and go. Kept very simple. Very much that's the recipe for success here for Vitality.
That's really good, though. They knew that they took out the long anchor, right? That's one of the key positions that you're going to go and either try and field or play that short control. And, well, not knowing what was around the corner of short, they opted to rotate long. And that's where they got the 2-on-5 on the side. But, yeah, you have to attribute all of that to Masuda. He got the opening kill on Snappy, assisted by that Molotov, and then the 2 into the B side. Because that becomes a retake simulator, but with the roles flipped, right? Because Ence were like locking down the sides if they were T's, right? Making sure you couldn't come in. They did the util dump to upper tunnel so they could at least trade and take the fight towards doors and window, but just not enough lethality right there. And that's going to be the first form of Vitality.
I mean, you put yourself in Masuda's shoes for a second. It is amazing that this guy in his first team, he's had 1 team. He's been in it for about 2 years now. And he's gone from being the rookie, learning the ropes, being taught by the very best, to being not only in the same team with someone who's equally as talented, if not more so, in ZywOo, and getting to kind of watch and learn under him and have him as a teammate. But now you've got Astralis players joining your ranks, and you get to learn from them firsthand as well. Imagine if, with all of that experience, in 2 years he becomes the best player on that team. That's ridiculous. ZywOo would have something to say about it, that's for sure.
2 rounds in a row, Snappy's been the opening death here. One was a little bit more forced out. This one here was just taken from them. But Vitality operated perfectly last time round with the number advantage. They could do the exact same play again.
And there is even less players to bodyguard him. Util's good. Your rotate's cut off, and you're dead.
Be a save.
It has to be a save. You don't want to lose everything.
That's the KISS method right there. Keep it simple, stupid. Get the opening pick, go for the mid to B split. Utility's great. The reaction of the team was really good. That means that communication mustn't have been a problem in that type of scenario, right? Because they were so quick to act on the mid to B. 4-2, just 2 rounds of difference now. Is, I guess the biggest question for the next 40 seconds is, do Vitality want to chase? It's probably a bit early to do so. You want to start establishing a bit of an economy of your own. How you feeling? You back?
Think so. Let me give you a couple of tongue twisters. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Wonderful.
She sells seashells by the seashore. That's she sells seashells by the seashore. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Give me that one. That always gets me.
I'm not
Can't do any
anywhere
lorries?
near as
Any
articulate
lorries?
as you are.
Red lorry, yellow lorry. Try that one at home. Always gets me. Maybe we can try a German tongue twister.
No, I don't think so. My rehashed phrases that I've said about over 150 times, they come out all right, but anything else...
I nearly learned one, actually. Like, I was in the process of learning a German tongue twister. Something about a fisherman called Fritz who fishes fresh fish.
I just know that their like sayings, when you translate them to English, sound like crazy weird. Like between a rock and a hard place, but theirs version is like between two chairs.
Ah, yes.
And I never really understood it the same way.
Direct translations of like idioms in different languages. This is going to be messy. 3, charging lower. Good flash. Madden doesn't pull the trigger. He will be clear or lazy clear from Dupree.
Up a dark push too. They have this completely secured right now.
Mission complete. There will be a reaction. Snappy knows it. Madden just drops.
Oh, you take that.
Drops Madden. I was going to say drops away. Instead, he actually gets one straight through the CT smoke. Now they do gather on long. They've been punished on B 2 rounds in a row, and now all this util is dumped long. It's going to be hard not to over-rotate.
They've got smokes for the cross here, a couple of mollies extra to lob on towards the site and make this a bit more awkward. Spinks had just cleared up a dark about 5 or 6 seconds ago, so hedging their bets towards A would be the right call. But doubting themselves right now, Hades is still floating towards middle. Dihar and Snappy are the first two to respond to this, and here comes the smokes.
Oh, look at his own smoke to peek behind. This is cheeky. Dihar, I love it. The boost, they're safe from it. Looking for info though on the jiggle. Dihar confirms no one's across. They're boosting. Nice catch from Snappy. He's very low though. This can still go wrong. A re-smoking of the cross.
It might just be a save call again, you
Is
know?
that how easy it falls apart?
Well, the thing is, it's 3v3, I know, but how are you meant to get back into the site? Everybody right now is down over towards CT spawn. You don't have any short control. Nobody's flanking long. Maybe they're going to try and get more kills here on the cross. They've just used Bogdan's Law. They're giving it a crack.
I mean, this can change in the blink of an eye, in the drop of a Vitality player. They boost for Magic.
Oh, looked away.
Oh, and that's the end of that. Everything lost. Maybe even the AWP. Snappy cowering in fear in CT.
Yeah, tried to dodge the flash, right? But that was perfectly timed. Really, really good stuff there from Vitality. 3 consecutive rounds now, and this is starting to look a bit more like it. The T-half over on Mirage, it was flat, but this one starting to look very, very good. And the final kill will come on through. No AWP retained, and, well, Ence's bye into the next round, round number 8, is going to be, well, low.
I mean, what is your expectations for the length of time it takes for this kind of blend of players? And I want to say this kind of blend. It's very team-specific in the sense that both Dupree and Magisk have been functioning in such a widely developed and mutual understanding. You know, you've had so much time with the same players that everything becomes much more automatic, very much, it's, you know, just an extension of your own understanding of the game. And then you come in and things are different voices, different languages, different personalities, different expectations. You know, does that change and warp your expectations of how long it would take?
Are we talking like trophy winning or just like top 5 contender?
Top 5 contender.
They might not even be that far off. It's very hard to see where the Counter-Strike world is at the moment, right? If you use Katowice, you can see with some odd results there, right? Or not odd, but results that I don't think was necessarily expected. But I think the thing is, there's a couple of barriers that are difficult to get by. And one of which, for me, and I wanted answered, was in this event, was how ZywOo was going to function. Because he had an off-tournament at IM Katowice, and I thought maybe that could be attributed to the language, right? When things get a bit more stressy, a bit more of a cutthroat environment, that's where the input lag for ZywOo could then be affecting his in-game ability. And if that was going to be a long-term problem, then that would be a very difficult issue. But I think that I think that if you're going to be honest, it's like build the system and have Zonic and the Dupree and Magis combo actually fully integrate themselves with the way that Apex wants to play or to work out the approach that they want to have as a team to a game. I feel like you'd have to give them like a minimum of 4 to 5 months, maybe even 6, right? Like, it sounds like a long time in Counter-Strike, but when you're blending these things together, it doesn't just happen overnight. It's not like you're just throwing like 5 fraggers in the server and going, go do whatever you want. You want to come up with a long-lasting approach to the game.
Yeah, and humans aren't robots. You can't just program something and it runs. It's something that is, learning is something that you develop over many, many different experiences together. Magisk at this point in time is at the top of the scoreboard again. He has been definitely comfortable in that Vitality jersey upon arrival, which is nice. It's definitely a component you can count on.
I bet these two feel like they have something to prove, you know, in the sense of, hey, we aren't done yet. And, well, Magis is still very, very young. And Dupree's still fragging quite well. So, a little buy coming out now from Ence. They took a timeout to have a conversation. Hades AWP posted up on towards Catwalk. And if they boost, he might get an opportunity. Flashed off the line, warning shot fired. Good information now relayed across. And he's going to quickly regather his thoughts, tuck down towards CT spawn and look for a new avenue of assault. But the fact that they've already smoked Hinge in mid means that if they want it, they can start jumping up. Flash for Apex just to make sure it's close. Get this stairs control.
Oh, they're doing so much here. Pressure in sync. And the gap on that smoke is perfect to peek around. Magis tucked in is going to go down. Well, Spinks can finish what Madden started up short. He's fully blind. Dieter got a lot on his plate here. And pre-ready on the clear.
Might even be the round right here. Again, difficult to get back into. They're playing retake in a 4-on-4. Snappy still has long control. Masuda's yet to come on through the bedroom.
Done so much with their positioning, and now the frags will come through. It's just Snappy on long. Masuda to arrive late, and Snappy's revealed himself on towards that long position. Zoe just has to bide his time. He's actually firing off a couple of warning shots, and that won't
Sorry about Masuda.
be necessary. Oh, he's seen their retreat as well. How lovely.
It'd be nice if
2 tunnels, he says.
It'd be nice if they could take that AWP away from Hades, right? Now, the chase is coming through. Masuda going through spawn. You can see that one right here. Spinks is going to try and chase him on down, and, well, Hades is falling regardless. So this is getting ugly now for Ence.
5 HP, it probably means that they do Bloodlust a little more. And he gets another fight. Apex wanted it. Oh, and Dupree wanted it as well. Nice work from Spinks. He is going to charge into the Zywoo and even hit another bullet. Good God. Trying to force some rebuys. It's not the end of the world. They're all very much flush for cash, and they do take down Spinks. So mission accomplished.
Yeah, this here looks like, what are we talking, 5 consecutive rounds. Ence got the pistol, they got the conversions off the back of that. They even had the first gunny. But right now, 5 consecutive rounds, and this is starting to be difficult for Ence. They're going to have to take a partial investment here. Max loss bonus is going to come on through before they can get the guns out again. But one of the key things there as well is that you had Magis go over towards B taking a fight. That's going to leave a little bit of hesitancy for Hades, right? You want your AWPer when it's an A hit to be mid-long, to be at car. You don't want him to be stuck in CT spawn. So, wrong place, wrong time. All good in the hood for Vitality as the in-game leaders and scouts continues to be a bit of a theme. Carrigan yesterday was banging off heads. Happy was going a little bit too overzealous there.
Lost his, yeah. Well, you don't get far with Deagles and Kevlar unless you make some early impact, and that's impact from Magisk. He does catch one on the doors, there's another there, and one by one, the Lemmings throw themselves off the cliff. This time Hades drags a Dane with him. And he's grabbed himself an AK-47, so he's probably going to be cowering and admiring the hunt, seeing if anyone really wants to try and take it away. Safely maneuvers all the way to the other side of the map.
Yeah, and Zai was given the AWP over towards Dupree. So you know Dupree's not going to move from pit. You don't have any qualms in terms of losing that. It frees up Zai to have a little bit of a look if he wants to try and find this kill. But we can see that Hades is now miles away. So call this 6 now. And continuing that consecutive fashion, things are going great for Vitality now. This is a big difference towards their T side of Mirage. They look a lot more comfortable. Their reactions are very quick.
This is what I kind of was expecting on the first map.
Yeah, the Mirage one is going to be an anomaly for a while, I think. Just, that's the only bit that doesn't seem to fit, right? When you're putting the two together, it's the only bit that doesn't seem to fit with these players and where they've come from. But with hard work and determination, you too can achieve your dreams.
Absolument. En français.
Okay, well, a second timeout called here early from Saw, and understandably so, because this half is starting to get away from them now. You need to get a gun round on the board. The first gun round came with Hades being cheeky and pushing up mid and getting a glass cannon headshot, well, yeah, onto ZywOo.
Worth mentioning that it is actually a fully used tactical timeout by Saw. He has not stopped talking until his 30 seconds concluded. That was not a dialogue, that was a speech. And we'll see how far that gets them. They are 6 rounds dry, are our defenders, and that is embodied by not only the amount of cash they've got, but we have seen an answer from Ence. They spent all their pennies to whip out the double orb.
Let's see what grade they're going to get given from Vitality here, because sometimes the answer is not the right one. Over towards Long, Flash is going to be out of the hands of Hades, and ZywOo, he's going to line up the geeky hidden smoke. Okay, here you go, everybody. Here's the tutorial.
Pixels. Perfect. And he got it.
Golf clap. Fantastic work. Hole in one there from ZywOo. Par for the course, and well, let's see if he can hit this one for 6. Mixing references.
Elbow. Definitely could be a golfer. And they're going to flash long and short simultaneously, so keep the CT's toes firmly prepared, and that's a long corner smoke. They nearly didn't check Snappy, and it's led to a double kill. Wow, he can get another here. He will. Snappy just winning the round single-handedly. That's a change of pace.
Massive Snappy.
Yeah, out through mid. Dupree short side. So with Snappy now finding the bomb, I can't help but feel we could be on for even more from Snappy. He doesn't have the health for a head-to-head, but...
I catch Dupree off guard, right? Look at Dupree. He's not considering this at all. Oh, Spinks has seen him first. Now, this is awkward. Look, how's Magus here, you got to wonder? Well, that was through the short play. Dha was more than ready. And he'll grab that one. So a response. Now, the thing is, it doesn't feel like they're trying to isolate Snappy. There was 2 rounds, obviously, the Molotov one where Musuta, mind you, was able to get the opening kill, and then they had one where they picked him with the AWP. This is kind of Snappy going, yeah, all right, come at me again. Let's see what you really got. Yesterday, he looked great individually. Today, this was a very big play here.
Oh, and it was just the gap. The gap between those 2 flashes, I believe one of them was provided by Dha. You can see his name in the assists, but enough just to get his crosshair on the right place.
But it's really important to note the type of utility. The late corner smoke, they wanted to hard clear that reverse position, right? They're looking for the tendencies of how Snappy plays long. They've mollied him out from back doors before. He's moved to the reverse side. They've given him a crack there. Let's see if they continue to try and punish that. Right now, it's heavy over towards B, and maybe this is to punish the double AWP setup. Spinks could be overrun here.
They've got all their nades cocked. 3 players with pins pulled. This is going to be a lot for Spinks to deal with. Close quarters with the AWP. They're going to run through that. Oh, and he misses. You can't afford to miss those because now they're in. And Dha's out soon to shake it all about. The Okie continues in round 13. They're done.
They should chase now. They should actually apply some pressure. And yeah, Masuda already is. A little bit of a one-bop there. The AWP of Hades now on the deck and continue to take these rifles away. You can get yourself a great little T-half here, Vitality. That was great. Really good understanding of what they were up against, punishing the double AWP setup. A few misses and another kill. Madden's gone too. Just one remaining at, well, Snappy, the hero of last. Let's sit back and watch it all. They will find him. They're 100% getting him. Notice how they haven't planted yet?
They're doing everything by the book.
Making sure that he's not going to survive at all. That was the whole thing was, let's take some territory, let's find some fights, and now we plant. It gives them 40 seconds to find him, and they know where he is over towards Long. So look at all the nades they have remaining as well.
This is going to be
flashes and everything.
Colossally unfun. Can we just all be quiet and like imagine how it is to be Snappy right now? You just sit there in silence, and suddenly there's those distant footsteps get not so distant anymore, and there's flashbangs, and there's bullets, and there's a very dead Snappy. We make it 7 though, Vitality. I'm very convinced by this team that showed up on map 2. I don't know who showed up to map 1, but this team are looking like the Vitality we grew to expect victories out of these boys, especially now with the 2 big fraggers in Dupree and Magis. The fight for firepower certainly won out here.
Aggressive from Dha. He's going to get his little head spotted. No, ZywOo just moves off the line. Out Long as well.
It's a potential gap here. Dha could punish, and Madden's already done it. Dha gets the double. Madden through Long. And they connect a small gap. Completely punished. Just uprooting the attack before it even gets going. You spotted it, Chad. The pursuit for that information obscured by the new Dust 2 changes. He's already up and ZywOo just looking the wrong way.
That's the thing, and we've had this discussion before, is to do with the change. If you want to go fast long, right, normally you're going to send 2 players out, there'll be an extinguish, and there'll be players waterfalling flashes. But you can't have an AWP just cover mid doors like he used to. He can't see enough. You'd have to dedicate to a boost if you want that to happen, right? And if you dedicate a boost, then you have less utility for long. So you're kind of having to hedge between the 2 of them, and it came back to punish. Apex, this is highly aggressive. Already found himself in pit. And the round's just started, so...
I mean, that's huge, no?
That is massive. It's going to have to be of an info play, and they're pushing up a dark in response to this.
Yeah, but the Masuta and Magis duo are ready to receive them. Will they anticipate?
Oh, the timing.
Oh, Hades is not going to be happy with that one. Gets away, but like the Hydra, there's another head. Magis still in tons. ZywOo's up top mid. And Apex has made that long lurk somehow pay off. He just walks on up, deals with Deha Gandalf, and he's on a site, Chad. He's on a site alone. Bomb long now. Snappy might hear ZywOo before he hears Apex.
If Apex is too glued on short, he won't consider this. That's a dink, but Snappy knows that ZywOo's crossed as well.
Snappy's managed his angle so well, and this could kill Apex. Oh, 2 HP.
And Magis is flanking B. This round is all over the shop.
It is. It really is. But it can go wrong so quickly, especially now the bomb carrier's dead. ZywOo gone, Apex with 2 HP. They've really screwed the pooch on this one.
He's in the smoke. They know he's here. He got the kill. They know he has to be here somewhere. You can see Stab. Oh, where the hell is he? Well, there he is. Back turned, body down, and just Magis, who was like, guys, the B1 site was clear.
Oh, it's a real Orky Momo for the boys. And they double peek you to finish. Okay, well, that's...
I feel bad for Jakey there. Like the Madden flank as well. It was like there was flanks on flanks. There was a lot going on there, a lot to unpack. But what was looking pretty dismal for a while, the scoreline's 7-7. Ence could still walk away with a half win. That was one of the fruitiest rounds I think we've had all day.
Really weird, really weird. I think it was probably
Oh, that's the shot.
a product of Apex walking up and getting so much space on long. I think he kind of got tempted in and started having the call to bring the bomb as well. ZywOo doing his best to provide that, but it did lead to their demise. Just closed in on, I think, Snappy as well for getting that info safely.
It was felt like a lot of 1v1 fights for a lot of that, right? But there was still information, obviously still some team play and understanding of where your pieces were at. But here we go, final round, round 15. Both teams have a bye. Double AWPs again. This time it's Snappy and Hades who have both AWPs. Hades makes sense. Snappy's the one that comes with a bit of a quizzical tone as full util, plenty of HEs, flashes, all that good stuff. And on the other side, it's going to be Masuda relegated down towards the Tech 9. I think that's the seniority of the team here. The young lad. Oh no, he has an AK. Never mind.
What are you doing, mate? He's feeling himself up long now. Madden and Deha to be tested. They catch a lot of flack. Deha makes it even trades. He's going to fight his way out of here. He's got a potential to just throw a smoke, stop the
Snappy can flash for him in a sec. If he just waits, this flash can come.
Oh, he really wants to go up, but that's what ZywOo was waiting for. Deha's better. Right eye advantage and can disappear now. Damage done. 3 on 3. Apex cuts his finger and acquires himself a bomb.
Biggest issue right now is Magis over towards short. His lurks have been good with the space, but what can he get done? He has a good idea how susceptible he is. He's on his own, Alex.
Yeah, Deha's good though. He's already got 2. This would actually be a full ace if they all run into his crosshair. Deha,
nice shot.
Does not get a second chance. Snappy spotted. Nade damage dealt.
Jumping AWP, do it.
He's got through the
Do the
flames.
jumping
Yeah,
AWP.
the jumping AWP would be impressive. Makes the sound, anticipates the swing, and Magisk has provided at least a little bit of info. But coming from CT, supposed to be impossible!
Snappy's an
both of them
AWPer.
go down. Snappy the AWPer, Dupree to save the day. 1-on-1, low, Spinks, they know, and that's one tap. 8-7, style points for the finish. We will be taking a quick one. When we do come back, we swap those sides. Let's see if this goes the distance. Will this go to 3? We've got Ence in hot pursuit of a 2-0 conversion, and let's not forget that FaZe has already fallen to them in a 4-3 map affair. Spectacular individuals on Ence have come in full form and with something to prove, and something to prove is certainly attributed to Vitality as well. Let's see if they can take us to the full 3. Magisk up mid, he's been great. Loved hearing those team comms. He's gonna get overrun if he sticks around, and just on the precipice of too much.
That's a banger.
He gives us just the right amount. Damn, Magisk has cut 2 down to size. The 1xBet odds dead even, and so is this pistol. 3 versus 3. ZywOo changes that. Bomb now loose, and they will have to scrap for it. He's fallen off for the reload. Spinks to at least retrieve the explosives, and knocked the head off of Apex. Costs him his life. It's only Hades now on that bomb retrieval, and only Hades for Ence to win this pistol.
All right, well, at least he's gotten the bomb back. Had to burn the smoke to do so. Still has a flash on his side. No Kevlar where the other two have it. So as far as being equipped, you would favor Vitality right here, right now.
Yeah, they don't know. That smoke implied that he could be walking sight, and they don't have the information immediately, which could lead Hades to that dream scenario of a pivot B, but he's opted to return and gets the fight. So dupreeh, great hit from him. It was ZywOo, though, with 2 nice ones from short. Those little headshot angles as you drop off is definitely his wheelhouse.
Yeah, good stuff. Well handled right there. I think Magisk doubled to kick things off, though. It took a lot of wind out of the sails before he can get underway, because you could see Ence had something quite intricate in mind, right? There was a player over towards Suicide. There was one to assist. They were making sure they were getting the Xbox smoke down and just completely thrown out the window. So going to be a force by here from Ence, and that is without the plants. 3 Tech-9s, 2 Deagles, and a bunch of utility. 3 players over towards B. Snappy top mid, and Hades will be bringing up the rear to assist over towards the upper tunnels. Magisk, well, he's got himself an M4. It might be the perfect weapon for the job. And, well, the 2B defenders, both with M4s. This is going to be difficult now to break.
What's Hades going to throw in with this one? Lines it up. dupreeh none the wiser right now. The 2 M4s are on the right side, though, Chad, as you've highlighted. Like, a single smoke from Magisk would be well timed. Oh, wait, no time for that. Yeah, they're in. They're in. The flashes are good, too. Oh, overrun. This is so oppressive. Only 1. As Magisk goes down, dupreeh makes the right call to fall out of the site, but this retake's just not favorable.
And they've got the M4 now. It's in the hands of Snappy currently. He's going to perch himself towards back of plat. It'll be a good weapon to fight because 3 players are coming through tunnels. ZywOo with the util from outside doors.
Drops the smoke, lurking out of the doors. Molly for the back plat.
Oh, it's perfect.
Brilliant. Snappy has to move. Sitting in the open. Burnt down to 50. The smoke is still up. Late out of the tons. It doesn't look like they're going for it. Wow, Ence. That's phenomenal. They've pulled it off.
Yeah, crazy work right here. Just about seeing how much more they can get. They're pushing out. They found dupreeh. He can't find a kill. 3 play, sub 50 HP. And that'll be it. Another body down. Masuda's gone. It's just Apex to hold on to 1 M4, and that's it. That's all they have. 9-8. The score reads. Ence have bounced back, and now they can even tie things up. That's a massive round. I thought that the 2 rifles would have handled that.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to see it, even with X-Ray on, how quickly it caught them off guard. He was going to smoke tons until he realized it was way too late. Like, they went from 0 to 100 just like that, pedal to the metal, and catching the 2 best buys in the server off guard.
I missed it, but whoever had the late smoke there for upper tunnels secured the round. That smoke right there, they took everything away from them.
Info, saw it. They're charging long. And
recovered.
Shooter has actually pulled the rabbit from the hat. Get the rifle up, wouldn't you? No, they'll be happy with the Deagles. 2 up, and Apex even providing a little extra util for ZywOo.
Yeah, if they continue long, ZywOo can drop this smoke. It becomes very jarring right now. This is not easy for Ence.
They're committing. Good chip damage. Oh, it looks like we could see Vitality with a rebuttal here.
Apex has a flash.
The framework is there. They can win this. A boost is great. Over the smokes. Planting's going to be difficult. They opt to dismount. And it loses its potency if the bomb goes down. There's 3 on that ramp. They don't have nades. The Bomb now going down. Apex one, unlikely done. He's jumping around. He knows it's unlikely they can find anything else.
Should be the save, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know exactly where that flash landed, and sometimes the flash assist in the feed can be a little bit misleading, but ZywOo was blind there from Apex's flash, right? That could have been the alley-oop. Now, I don't know if it was a full flash. We didn't get to see it from ZywOo's perspective there, but in the feed, it at least suggested so. So maybe a little bit of a miscomm or a bad timing on the flash, not landing exactly where you thought the teammate was going to throw it. But it was looking very good for Vitality there for a moment off of Masuda's opening kill. May as well hold on to these upgrades. No point throwing them away in vain. And Ence are very happy to keep what they have. The two AKs and the M4 are going to scurry back over towards Long, and we're tied up 9-9. Ence are in a good position to do this in 2, right? I know it's going to be a very difficult game right now on Dust 2, but they're in a good position to get it there. Then we have Nuke waiting in the wings if we require it, map number 3. It's just the reverse of the map pool that Ence had yesterday against FaZe. Yesterday it started Nuke, then went to Dust 2, and no way, it was Overpass as the third. Never mind.
Do love me some Nuke. Could be seeing it, but Ence are set for a competitive second half here.
The boost.
And there's the info. They get across safely. ZywOo to be tested and deleted. So that's already a lot of a load off their mind. It was, of course, just the pistol, but happy to have opened up with a frag nonetheless.
Oh, Apex needs to tuck on in now, and it's unlikely they don't molly him or do the jump spot to clear here. There's a molly. He needs to just stand and fight. Now, one, can he make it more? No. That's the M4 marooned car at this point, so very, very difficult to get this back.
Yeah, it's almost redundant him talking about how much damage he's done as well, because should they execute this right, there's very few chances for these pistols to finish what he started. Ooh, and the movement from Madden evades the shot. Don't get a second chance, and now just the story of Magisk and his trusty USP.
Is that the Guardian? No, never mind. It's the, is that the Whiteout?
Whiteout.
Yeah.
With
I don't know how I thought, like, because back here where I'm sitting, obviously with the angle of the monitors, everything looks the same color.
Yeah.
So that looked blue from back here. It's like the dress. Is it blue and white, or is it, what was the other colors?
Blue and black or gold and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was trippy, that whole situation. Did we ever get an explanation?
There was an explanation. It's all like scientific and cones and light and...
Of course.
yeah.
Science.
Science, unfortunately.
Oh, that's the lead. Ence securing this one, the first to double digits right now, and it's not going to get easier from here on out for Vitality by any means. I don't think there's enough money for ZywOo to get out an AWP.
There is not. He's actually opted for the FAMAS.
Oh, this is not great, is it? They've only got 2 Molotovs here. Everybody has a smoke. Everybody has at least a flash. There's not a kit. Yeah, this is about to get real spicy if Vitality don't convert this one. Hades attempting to hit a shot on the jump right there. ZywOo has secured over towards Long for now. Spinks and Madden in upper tunnel. Snappy to join. Now, the mid to Bs from Vitality were very, very potent, but that was traditionally after a long pick or a bit of information. No pick just yet for Ence. Apex is in floater, and the biggest issue is if Ence are just able to do a default and get short control, doing an A execute when there's no AWP in play, it's quite simple, right? You're not worried about the extra flashes that you have to rally and volley across to make sure that you avoid the car in the mid-long position. ZywOo is still here, right? But he's going to have to let them come a little bit more into his domain, and that's where things could easily go wrong.
He cycled through his nades as well. He is only sitting on smoke and a flash now. It holds its value if he can hold on to it for another 20 seconds.
I'm curious as what's going on right now because Ence are very, very static, right? They're not moving around a lot. This could be a bit of a B fake here.
Okay.
They're going to walk out on the rifle.
Gonna be surprised.
They have to push.
Oh, and they did have a chance onto his head. They have the info. He uses his flash and smoke well to buy time for the rotate. They haven't crossed. More flashes high. And that's a punish. ZywOo down. Hades Orb continues to patrol. They still have to plant. 25 and counting. Apex, he's just ready for that headshot. Good catch from Madden. Diha still gets the bomb down despite the low HP. Masuda is a threat always. But waiting for his teammate now.
I think they should try and save here. They're going to go for this. Spink's going to late Loke Long, and that should be the undoing of the round. Madden's down.
Oh, Dupree gets double. Yeah, somehow. If he could just have avoided the Spinks long flank, we could have had a round. But yeah, Chad, as you highlighted, that they had 3 rifles up, they had the choice, they opted to go, and now they'll be left with a single M4. And this nightmare that you've been painting regarding not getting everything you desire, the lack of incendiaries, the lack of a Zywoo warp, it's just going to compound.
Yeah, and then this is the thing, they won the pistol. This isn't the first time this series that they've won the pistol then haven't been able to convert the next, and it puts you in a bigger hole. It puts you in such a large hole, because if you don't know, you win the pistol, right? You obviously get the win bonus coming on through, but then you lose the following, you get 1,400. Whereas if you are the ones who lose the pistol, you get 2. Yeah, right? So
second stage.
Exactly. So this here is the hole that Vitality have to claw themselves out of, and they don't have enough to buy here. So Ence are in a really great position to get themselves 12 easily, right? Like I say easily, it's still difficult. It's still going to be hard, but you're not going up against full guns. You're not going up against an AWP. That won't be out until the next round of play, where the max loss bonus of 3,400 comes into the bank balance.
All right, well, a gimme. 4 Ence, that will put them 4 rounds away from a 2-0.
Walking in.
Yeah, and
look at this, it's perfect.
Lovely.
That's it. It's just Dupree now to rotate over. And what's he got, a deagle?
Good nade. But that's about all we'll have to say. Magisk and Dupree, what are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? They are admittedly within the B site deep. And there you have it, completely locked in. You've got smokes for days. D is even going to catch Apex on this hunt.
I didn't even have his gun out. Caught completely off guard. Great little play from DI here, just gonna add some more salt to the wounds. Magisk will get to retain this M4 sure. When they were in B like that, and you mentioned the smokes, like it's so easy. You just keep door smoke consistently. That's gonna limit you to 2 avenues, the tiny hole of window or upper tunnels. And they still had D-Haro in mid, so it wasn't happening any day of the week. Dupree wants to hold on to this Kevlar. You can understand why. Masuda, it doesn't really matter for him if he has the deagle or not. It's not the end of the world or, well, the cherry on top. Bomb goes off. 12 now secured, and this is really good. Look at all the residual cash left over. Hades has 10k, 9.5 for Spinks. Madden had about 8 or 9. It was pretty close to either of those two.
You can really tell that Snappy's got a firm grasp of Vitality's like economics. This call at this round couldn't have been better. There's not going to be a reactionary incendiary. There's not going to be a smoke that you have to wait out. You get Hades posted up, kills 1, and it's not like there's going to be a whole team on B. Just very much in tune with what his opponent's best bet is.
It's looking good so far.
He can find an appropriate riposte. And for now, as he's aware and in tune, we know this is the full buy.
The thing is now, a mid to B would be perfect here. They've done an Xbox smoke early. That's going to help them so they don't have to worry about any short peaks. And as Madden gets closer towards mid doors, it's going to be very telling of what type of a play they're going to look for here. Do they just want to default spread and actually see what's on the other side? Or is Snappy made a bit more from spawn call? Because if they just go straight out mid doors, it's a bit more from spawn. If they go for the hinge smoke, well, it's a bit more of a default. Only towards short. Making this look like a very standard round here, Ence.
It's working well. It's working far too well. Look at what they've achieved. They've got 3 CTs completely cowering at the prospect of an AX egg. And now Dupree and Magisk, suddenly a cold bucket of water to the face is about to be launched from the upper tons. Can they handle it this time? Dupree about to get a face full of Ence. Nade this time is there. Dupree is cleared, and it's all onto Magisk. Lines him up. 2, is it enough?
They should save. I know it's a 3-on-3 right now, but they really should save it, and that's unconfirmed damage. Zywoo doesn't know that he tagged him. If they knew, maybe they'd go for it, and maybe they still will. But in terms of the game right now, to go for this round and lose it, this would be horrible. So the percentage says no, but maybe Apex says yes. He's leading the charge through upper tunnels.
So much riding on this if you go. They're putting all their chips to the center of the table. Not playing the percentages anymore. Hades down. Zywoo finishes what he did tag. Now progress into the site. Madden, 2 to find. Zywoo looking the wrong way, and they are in a 1v1. So low though. Damage inflicted. The kit. He doesn't pick it up immediately. It's just enough.
Oh my lord.
Vitality, live on. A slight blip on that heart rate monitor. Woo, we?
Jeez, that is so ridiculously close, isn't it?
Chad. It doesn't get closer. Magis gets 2. ZywOo bangs Hades on the cross, then finishes it with the incendiary. It comes down to a 1v1.
Look how awkward this is here. Like, imagine if he was just went, you know, crouched and looked at the ground. If he just crouched and looked at the ground, Madden would have bought enough time. It could have been enough time. That is so fortunate they get that done. They get the AWP, sure. They get the buy back in. There was plenty of cash for Ence to splash. But, geez, that can't be the way you're getting it across the line, can it?
Oh.
That's a Vitality timeout called here. This is the second one so far. They have to win 2 more, so this one and the next consecutive gun rounds, and at that point we can start questioning where Ence's economy will truly be at. So it starts now, this Vitality comeback into the game. Sure, only 2 rounds the difference, but it does feel like Ence are in the driver's seat. Hades taking a pick towards long.
Yeah, just you got to hope that doesn't get under their skin. I'm sure Madden's having a lot of the thoughts that you just had, and it is Madden. Definitely not going to be too remiss. He's already opened up and taken down Masuta into the next round.
Okay, well, this one-way smoke, you can see how powerful it is, right? The door molly that most teams on the CT side would go for, it can be removed from play, and then it comes down to the 50-50 of the flash. Does it get them or doesn't it? And in that case, not to be. Madden made it there at the perfect timing to punish Masuta. And they can just work on one of these standard long plays. Snappy over towards upper tunnels. You can see Spinks just, he's a bit prickly on the back there. Has an idea that there could have been a mid-push coming on through. Spinks has to stay alive, and the same for Hades, because those two have the most important utility right now, the smokes, right? The smoke's going to be invaluable here to getting across long. Snappy's lurk, clearing out lower, making sure nobody's home, more good information. He can park the bus, right? Because that means they haven't pushed upper tunnels. They don't know exactly if it's going to be A just yet. These smokes are very telling now, however. Did they miss the cross smokes, or did... Oh, maybe just a little bit late. It's all good. It's all good.
They're through. ZywOo, though, he's dropped that device smoke, or simple smoke. We've seen them both throw it. Over the car, he's susceptible, and that's the frag he was waiting for. He's actually missed his shot. Tries to peek on the alternative side as it fades. The right call. D had to put his head in the vice. Spinks elsewhere. Onto Apex, and Ence have the site now. Magisk, dupreeh, the B defenders. Can they really turn a 2v4? Looking likely. Looking possible, certainly. Spinks has gone down on car. And oh, and Hades is dead too. It's up to Madden. Looking for some redemption. The first is found on the AWP, expecting a close swing. He's ready. It's dupreeh waiting. A flash is good. Face the shot. Oh, and dupreeh closes. Magisk and dupreeh save Vitality in back-to-back rounds.
Jeez, that's 2 retakes. Yeah, and 2 rounds in a row where just one player survives here. By skin of their teeth, Vitality are getting it done. I thought that was really good from Ence. They didn't panic. They had site control. They get across. They understand that the problems around those lurky smokes.
Oh, that's going to break them. Morale at an all-time low. You get the opener as well.
It's 2 rounds they know that they likely should have won, right? 2 rounds that they know that it should have been theirs.
Look how this was. A 2v4. Bomb down. And you know they're both short. It's not like they're firing off the bullets.
Yeah, too many overpeaks, right?
Oh.
Just too many right there. You can't be giving up that many rounds. And that is going to be the 3rd timeout called for Ence right now. And maybe it's for Sword to just say, look, boys, things are going well. You're hitting your shots. You're looking good. But let's just tighten it up. We haven't won yet. And now, just 1 round the difference. I mentioned the economy situation for Ence. Well, this will be the 3rd consecutive gun round here. Vitality need to get across the line. Remember, both of these rounds with diffusers, both of these rounds with only 1 player staying alive. If Ence keep getting into the site, getting the bomb down, Lost Burner starting to build for them now. They can stay threatening towards the tail end of the game, but at some point the tune will have to change in terms of rounds. Lower dark, nobody home, can well and truly see that with the boost.
Oh, this is going to be a real change of pace. ZywOo's actually gone down. You can see where he just went for a late clear of mid, and Hades still holding.
Okay, well, this is a massive leg up with ZywOo out. I know that he hasn't necessarily been the hero in the last couple of rounds, but it's a big name to be on the floor, and mainly because now you can operate knowing that the AWP is not in play.
Like, look at the way they just crossed double doors.
It's
walking.
less fear.
Very calm, very
Not
peaceful.
using nades,
no
not doing anything.
Smoke, no pressure, no flashes.
But if you know that ZywOo is dead with the AWP, an A execute sounds good, but a response from Vitality is even better. dupreeh and Apex here. They're just creeping the contact.
Yeah, and now already the jig is up. Apex, double molly onto him. The extinguishers. 3 of them into the extinguisher. That's very efficient.
They're lining up.
Yeah, they're so low. Apex Admittedly, so is he, but Dupree is there. Spinks
TK.
helps them out. Long is going to be able to catch him.
Can't be another clutch, surely, Magis.
This is where it ends. This has to be where it ends. Ence have managed to weather the storm. And Magisk is receding back into the other side of the map. Okay, a breath for Ence after some intense back and forths, letting 2 rounds go down to a 1v1 lost clutch, but a 2v4 in the previous, and still Ence do manage to keep their head above water. This would have been a very sour note to concede a third.
I like the calling from Snappy, right? It's using every piece of information available to make a good call. The contact, that caught me off guard there. The rifles were playing so passive, it was a great move. The only, I would say, misplay in the situation was the 3 mollies that they all dumped onto Apex position right there. But otherwise, the round converted. 2,400 loss bonus for Vitality now. But remember, 1 player surviving in 2 consecutive will make it 3 consecutive rounds. It means nobody has been able to build a bank. Look at where their money is at. This is miserable for Vitality. It has to be just a save again. It's not the cliff that used to be the old economy system, right? But you're still seeing it get punished. You're still seeing it get punished, and really good stuff here.
I mean, look how getting someone to Gandalf immediately changes the dynamic, and never mind having someone late long. But that really did make the site feel very, very small for Vitality. Glimmer of hope for Ence now, as they've got 14 on a silver plate. And oh, Magisk has got early info at the very least.
Yeah, look, it's good. It is good. But the problem is, this is the key. The timing of Magisk getting back towards A and flashing for his little buzzards of pistol players to find impact. That is the best thing that could happen here, because I don't see another way that Ence hand this over. Not with all this util, not with long control, not with time on their side. It comes down to this flash.
He's dropped it for Apex. He'll get into position to peek off of it. He has to essentially kill 3 off this flashbang alone. And he's not in a position to do so.
Yeah. I still would like it if CSGO could please, they were watching yesterday, I don't know if they're watching today, if they could please fix the bug that happens with the dropped weapon. Rushley and I made a video of it and we emailed it to them. So hopefully they can find a way to fix it. I'm sure they would have fixed it if there was an easy solution. But that seems to still be a little bit of a problem, right? With the detonated weapon. Yeah. And they've added a feature to the game, which is really cool. The crosshair feature, right? But you can see with the drop gun, it's still causing some issues. 14-11, heating up now and fast down mid. Oh. Another change up. They can punish Apex on the rotation.
He's going to be very late to this.
He's not going to be ready for this.
Adam.
8 out, it's perfect.
Absolute house that. And there's another for Dupree walking tons. Vitality starting to sound the red alert. It is dangerous territory now. Magisk has to be a hero, and Spinks beheads him in the public square.
Save.
Okay.